Hello, podcast world, fellow horticulturists, lovers of plants, gardeners, family, and friends. Welcome to Shrubby Buddies, the podcast, friends with woodies for garden goodies. I'm host Matt Guthrie.
And I'm host Tim Fleischer. Coming at you from Central Ohio, Zone 6B. We're just a couple of public horticulturists and certified arborists with experience in education, landscape design, gardening, retail, and wholesale.
So grab a drink, polish your pruners, dust off that kneeling pad, and let's get down to business. Hey, Shrubby Buddies, and welcome to this week's installment of the podcast, episode number 60. I am Matthew C. the First, joined with old Timmy Thunderbutt Fleischer.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Well, my butt's not thundering just yet, but the day is young.
Yeah, it'll get there.
Yeah.
You get some beans in you or something, and you'll have
that
a
right.
thunderbutt for sure. So Tim, what's going on? What's new? What's new with you?
You know, I did eat some beans yesterday.
Oh boy.
Well, I did eat some beans sometime in the recent past. We had some
Recent future? I mean, maybe in the recent future, too. The recent past, for sure.
we stopped for some Mexican, me and the girls, this weekend.
Oh, man.
I got the chimichanga lunch special.
Dude, you're going to have the chimichanga toots.
Yeah. Boy, it was good, though. Boy, it was good.
Boy, oh, boy.
So, yeah, just chilling, just working our way through November,
Yeah, where's the time go, Feels like just yesterday we were, complaining about the heat and the drought, and here we are mid-November, right?
I know, and now it's, chilly and lovely.
Thanksgiving's next week. Christmas is like,
Ugh.
a little bit more than a month away. Before you know it, it's going to be New Year's and 2026 and cabin sessions and season 3 and
lot to come. We actually, even though Christmas isn't even though it's not even Thanksgiving yet,
yeah,
we have all of our Christmas decorations up at home.
Yeah.
Megan kind of took the bull by the horns, and we got all the finishing touches taken care of yesterday. Put some lights outside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did. I worked on some Christmas lights yesterday at home. I've got like one more strand to put up around the front porch, and then I just have to run a couple of extension cords. Everything else is done, though. Like at 9 o'clock last night, I was on the second story of the house stapling Christmas lights up in that wind, and the neighbors that were out walking their dogs were like, "What are you doing?" It's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I got to get this done because it's supposed to turn kind of crappy maybe this week, starting tonight.
yeah,
And then I've got carpal tunnel surgery on my other hand Thursday. So, like,
you're getting number 2 down.
out of commission once that happens. I mean, at least for a few days.
Which,
so
if you're a new listener, Matt had his right hand done.
I had my left hand done.
Oh, now you're getting your dominant hand done.
I'm getting my dominant hand done on Thursday. So I'm anxious for that.
It's a life changer. Really is.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yep.
So, what else is going on in life? Like you said, Christmas decorations, Thanksgiving's next week, kind of wrapping up the season at work, getting ready to start putting out holiday decorations.
Yeah, it seems like every single year, the powers that be here in Dublin are like, give us an earlier date.
Yeah.
The decorations for the holidays need to be up. And I think they want it to coincide with like the business district at Riverside Crossing, and when some of these businesses are lighting their stuff up, and they want everything uniform, which I understand. But so this is the week that needs to be all done towards the end of this week that we're in right now.
Yeah, because, people usually associate Thanksgiving and the Black Friday thing with Christmas shopping, obviously. So, that's Black Friday is a week and a half away, so they want it done so that we're not rushing next week. Everything's just kind of in place. And
I get it. But so what we have is about I mean, between the city buildings and some of the parks and some of the downtown areas, we've probably got, pushing 60 or 70 planters.
Oh, 6, 7?
6, 7.
6, 7?
Planters that we decorate with, live greens and colorful sticks and
60, 70.
and he's still going on with that. 6, 7. And berries and
What kind of berries?
magnolia leaves.
Dingleberries?
No, winterberry hop.
Winterberries. Okay.
So we have all that to do. Last week at work, we got this massive Christmas tree put up that we picked up. It was like, yeah, I know.
That Christmas tree was very large, and it was, the skid loader handled it all right, but it was a lot for the big skid loader.
It's definitely
the
the biggest one we've put down there. But we got it down there safely. We got it lit. All the lights are on, so we can check that off the list. And then,
What kind of a Christmas tree is it?
it's a well, what kind of fir is it? Do you remember?
I don't know. Cannon fir?
Yeah. It was a yeah, I think it is.
Okay. Cool.
It's a fir nonetheless.
Yeah.
I forgot, but it's like 14 feet tall, not counting the root ball that's sitting up on the grass. So it's a big old tree.
The root ball's about, 3.5 feet tall, and it's 72 inches wide. 6 foot wide root ball, so you can only imagine how much that bad boy weighs, but we got her done.
Yep, we did. So
Got her installed.
So we're chipping away at the holiday decorations.
Chipping. Yeah. Chipping indeed. So,
Chipping indeed.
Yeah, what's new? What's new with me? Anything? I don't feel like there's a whole lot new. I've finished up at Dutch Mill Greenhouse for the season. That'll start back up again in April with them. I've helped Julia with So Local a little bit since being laid off at the greenhouse for the season. I've helped her with getting some stuff done around her farm to get her ready for the holiday season. Ran a little bit of electrical for her this weekend. Got some outlets and smart outlets and I don't know, outdoor outlets installed on her smokehouse. And
You have been helping Julia a lot. You've got a little side hustle again. I respect that about you. You never like to.
I just
You
get
like
bored.
to stay busy.
I just get bored. So, she was looking for someone part-time, and I was like, well, I'm not doing anything now, so I can come put some of my handyman skills to work and help her out around the cut flower farm. And, she does some of those workshops, but her big thing is the porch decorations. So she does a lot of that in Dublin, the Muirfield area. She was talking about how she got linked up with some people in Bexley, Ohio, which is
Nice.
a nice community in Columbus. So that's exciting.
Well, Julia, if you're listening, Matt's lucky to have a mentor like you with the holiday decorations.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've kind of loosely discussed this, but we're going to have you on as a guest sometime.
Yes, we need to have Julia on.
Get something in the works for next season.
Like next season on as a guest, so she can talk about all of her business adventures. So
for sure.
Anywho, enough talk about that. This week, on the heels of Thanksgiving, we want to talk about the holiday Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Day food. So it's not going to be as much plant talk, but a lot of food talk. So Tim and I both like food a lot. And I'm sure that most people do like the food, right?
I will say there's a lot of Thanksgiving dishes that are plant-based, and even the turkey eats plants. So, I mean, it's kind of like
the turkey eats plants, so that can tie into horticulture.
Is that what you said? Exactly.
And then there's a lot of plant dishes, so plant-based dishes, so that ties in.
But we are doing something a little bit atypical today, and just talking a little bit about Thanksgiving and a lot about food.
Yeah, I love it. So in case you didn't know it, Timmy, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. All right? What I like about Thanksgiving is it's one day, and there's none of this, like, pre-Thanksgiving having to go out and do this and do that and get gifts and this and that. That's my whole thing with Christmas, is like the whole month leading up to Christmas, the like having to be here and be there.
It's a racket.
This and decorate for that and get the Christmas presents and wrap the Christmas presents. And I mean, Christmas Day's fun and all of that. Like, I do enjoy Christmas, but I love Thanksgiving because it's just like show up with family, friends, whoever, eat a bunch of food, watch football, take a nap, and that's that, like one day of just like relaxing and eating a lot of food.
Yeah, and the food's just so good. It's so filling. It's nothing crazy. It's not anything fancy, but it's just good or filling food. And I try to limit the amount of these same things that I eat throughout the year, so it's like extra special on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really do. Like, we're gonna get into the food, but like I try not to eat stuffing at any other points in the year. I try to really limit my mashed potato intake, although that's difficult.
Yeah.
And then I'll eat some lunch meat turkey, but I mean, I can't think of another time of year where I'm just like making a whole turkey, right?
Yeah, yeah. So what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Like, when you sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, what is the thing on the table that you are just most looking forward to?
Gosh, that's an impossible question to answer.
Is it?
It's like asking what your favorite tree is.
I mean, okay, what is your favorite core item?
Let me tell you something what I like to do, because it's very hard for me to choose a favorite out of stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Those three things right there are probably my top three. And what I like to do is get everything mixed up on the plate. Mm-hmm. I like to have my mashed potatoes, put a little divot in them, get that gravy in there. I like to drizzle a little gravy on everything else on my plate.
Yeah.
And then I like to kind of get my fork in there and get a little bit of everything on my fork.
Okay.
And then put that in my mouth.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, some mashed potatoes and gravy with like some stuffing, even like kind of getting in there on it, or dressing, whatever you want to call it.
Turkey.
So what kind of gravy do you like? Is it brown gravy, or do you make gravy with like some of the turkey juices? And
yeah, so when I think of gravy, I think of the classic Thanksgiving that I grew up going to at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And my grandmother is still with us, but she doesn't cook a big Thanksgiving dinner anymore. She's 92, so she's just chilling,
Yeah. Good for her.
But she would, after taking the turkey out of the pan and putting it on the cutting board, she would then just put the roasting pan across two burners and build her gravy right out of the roasting pan.
Okay.
And that, to me, that might actually be the single best thing that ends up on that table is that gravy.
So
that Grandma would make straight from those drippings.
So with the gravy, it's not only the flavor and the tastes and all of that stuff, but there's like some sentimental value to it also. Like,
absolutely,
when you're eating that gravy, it takes you to that, like how your grandma used to make it.
Absolutely.
Like,
and you know what? I've not had any gravies I just didn't like, so it's kind of like pizza, there's like a sliding scale of how much I love gravy. I just love gravy. And this is no offense to anybody listening who's ever made me gravy, but no gravy I've ever had has ever come close to that gravy my grandmother would make.
Yeah.
And I could do the same exact thing she did,
and you're not going to hit it.
Wouldn't taste the same.
Nope.
So
Grandma always has that special touch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
For me, I think the stuffing's right there.
Yeah.
And anything potato, whether it be mashed potatoes, roasted potato, because we'll do mashed potatoes and roasted potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Gravy all over it, just as you said.
I'm all about having multiple potato options because that's a fantastic vegetable.
But here's one of my favorite dishes that's on the Thanksgiving Day table, and that's I love these sweet potatoes that my mom makes. It's like a sweet potato casserole with like the marshmallows like melted and toasted on top.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can smash that stuff. And of course, I mean, what's Thanksgiving Day without some turkey, right?
Before we move on to turkey, I need to address your sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Because so Matt and I didn't talk about this beforehand. We didn't talk about what we were going to say. And I was actually going to mention that dish as my most overrated dish.
Okay.
So I think we've finally gotten to a point where we're kind of disagreeing on something.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I understand it. It's sweet potatoes. It gives you something a little sweet and less savory. But for me, it's usually not making it on my plate.
Wow.
And it's always there. But I don't do the sweet potatoes, the yams. It's a little too sweet for me as like a dish on my main.
Okay, yeah.
I
mean, we all have opinions. Some opinions are just right and some are wrong, and your opinion's wrong, and I'm just...
Well, and this is coming from a guy who loves marshmallows. Like, I love marshmallows. But I guess you have to look at it in a way where it's like, okay, you got to look at all the food and be like, I need to properly get the right amount of each one of these in my belly. And I get worried about using too much space with sweet potatoes and not having enough space for things like mashed potatoes, gravy, and stuff.
Dude, there's things called seconds.
I know, and I'm going to get seconds and thirds, but it's not going to be as sweet.
Okay, fair enough.
So since I'm telling you what I think my most overrated dish is on the Thanksgiving table, what's yours?
The most overrated thing on the Thanksgiving table?
I feel like with your laugh, I know what you're going to say, but let's...
What do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to say cranberry sauce.
How did you know?
I don't know, just the way you laugh.
Literally is cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like cranberries. It's one of a few things in this world that I cannot eat. So I don't like cranberries. I don't like cranberry sauce. Like, I don't want cranberry sauce on anything. Just... that shit's for the birds, man.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
And I respect that because I don't think that's like a far-fetched thing to say.
Yeah.
It is kind of strange. And it's one of those things that as I've gotten further into adulthood, I've appreciated a little more for what it is.
Yeah.
And I've had some variations of it. My sister-in-law, Stacy, has made this one over the years that has it's like a creamy white sauce.
Okay.
That has cranberry in it and horseradish, and it just takes on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I also, what I don't understand is how you can call that thing that comes out of the can a sauce.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like it, I'll eat it, but I cannot call it a sauce. It's just
I want to know,
cranberry.
Why cranberry? Why couldn't they have done some sort of like a I don't know, maybe a raspberry, like a hot, like, honey raspberry sauce, or...
Listen.
I don't know.
Listen,
cranberry sauce?
This is just a hunch. This is based on no scientific research, but my guess is that because we're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about settlers, in the new America... Cranberries are like a northeast fruit,
true. That's true.
Like we don't grow cranberries here in Ohio, so they're not really on the forefront, but there's places in the northeast where cranberry is a big thing.
Yeah.
So that would be my suspicion.
Okay. That makes sense. It's my most overrated dish, least favorite dish. Now, do you guys do any like corn related dishes at Thanksgiving?
That's another one I'm glad you brought up because feel like when I have family where Thanksgiving with Megan's family, there is some sort of corn souffle type dish. But growing up, it was just corn with butter, warmed up in an oven dish.
Yep.
And I love that. Like I think that's one of those things that added that crunch to things when I was mixing it all up with my mashed potatoes.
Yeah, so same for us, it was just corn, but I feel like now there's like more of that corn casserole
Yeah.
on the table, but kind of growing up, I think it was strictly corn. And I love a good corn dish. Either way, I like regular just corn, like a buttery corn or a cream corn or even the corn casserole to me is so good.
I think there has to be something corn based.
Yeah, for sure.
On the table. I think that's super duper important. Now, I will say, to going to another vegetable, green beans. Green beans are not something that I grew up having in my family's Thanksgiving. Specifically green bean casserole.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because I would say that green bean casserole may be my wife Megan's most favorite dish.
I love it.
Or it's at least at the top. And I also love it too. I just never, that wasn't on the Fleischer family spread.
Yeah.
So it's not something that I have to have, but I definitely appreciate the bonus.
Yeah, we always have it. Grew up having it. I love the kind of the creaminess with the green beans. And then the French onion, or not French onion, the little onion strip things that go on top. You get that little that little onion crunch.
Yeah, in fact, if it calls for, say, a cup of those, I'm doubling it.
Yeah.
I'm loading up the top of that.
For sure. Something else that my family in recent years have started eating. So my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, is British. So my sister, when she cooks and brings dishes to family Thanksgiving, there's some European inspired dishes. So that's kind of where we get the roasted potatoes. But she does this really good Brussels sprout dish. And we never had Brussels sprouts growing up with Thanksgiving, but like I said, in recent years, we've started to have the Brussels sprouts that she cooks. And I don't know what all she puts in them, but there's these Brussels sprouts with this this sauce, this kind of marinade on them. And I want to say that there's even some nuts mixed in with them. And man, it's so good.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
I agree. And I've hosted Thanksgiving once or twice, just something small at my house. And I've always included Brussels sprouts just to have something else that's green, but that's not a salad.
Yeah.
Because on Thanksgiving, I'm not eating salad.
No, who's eating a green salad?
People are. People make up salads.
Oh, man.
I'm not. The only thing that I'm touching that's close to salad is if there's a veggie tray out prior to...
a pregame.
It helps stretch your stomach out a little bit. You eat some bell peppers and some carrots. It gets things working.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
I dip mine in a little ranch or some sort of a dipping sauce, but I know that you're not in on the ranch.
Yeah, I'm not. I might dabble in a little bit of
hummus.
What's the dill dip? I might dabble in a little dill dip.
Maybe a little roasted red pepper hummus.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're a pregame dip family for sure, and we're a sauce family too. We love some good sauces.
You got to stretch out that belly.
Yeah.
Now going back to the green bean casserole, something I did years ago that really put Megan off was I made a green bean casserole from scratch.
Okay.
So, you know me.
Yeah, I know you.
And I did I used fresh green beans and I made my own mushroom sauce and I used real mushrooms and I made my own French fried onions and blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was going to be
you were
the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And Megan was just I like the one with the canned green beans and the cream of mushroom soup. And, at the time I was a little offended, but again, as I've grown into adulthood, I just really do appreciate the simple traditional things.
Yeah.
The only tweak I would make is I prefer the frozen green beans to the canned ones.
Okay.
Just because they're a brighter green color.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm good with all that other...
And doubling up the onion strips.
But, so I think that carries over into other dishes. For me, a simple stuffing that's made of bread and celery and onions and herbs and chicken stock is good enough for me. I do not need the stuffing that has oysters
Nope.
or
This simple stuff.
or sausage. I'll eat it. You know, I have no problem
Yep.
with sausage, but I don't need, or chestnuts is another thing
Yeah.
I think often goes in there. I am good with just a very simple homemade stuffing.
I even like the stovetop stuffing.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like a cup of stuffing on the stovetop with hot water, and it like heats up and swells up, and it creates this stuffing. I'm like, that's fine too.
So I'm all in with the stovetop, but like I said, I can't keep my hands off things, and I would probably add a little bit to it.
Yeah.
Like maybe use a little extra butter, maybe use a little more celery and some onion, just to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy.
My family always has me make my homemade mac and cheese.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's one that I always do. It's, it's a process with the mac and cheese because I hand shred down a lot of sharp cheddar, and I use some other cheeses in it, and I make this like roux where I heat up heavy whipping cream and add in the toasted like flour and butter and mix in the cheese and create this just like gooey goodness. And then I do, the Italian like seasoned breadcrumbs on top and bake it again to like crisp all that up. And
You are making me so hungry.
but I do the mac and cheese, and everybody in my family always has me do that. So that's one. But
I'm glad you have that roll. And
the mac and cheese roll,
yeah. And you know what? You talking about making that specific dish reminds me of something that you and I both have, like independent stories of when we hosted Thanksgiving and something crazy happened with the turkey carcass.
yeah.
And so why don't you tell yours and I'll tell
really?
mine.
Okay.
Are you
go first.
All right.
So I think we just moved into the first house we bought in Marysville, a real small house in town, and Taylor's grandparents. I can't remember who all was there. I know her grandparents were there for sure. Probably your sister, brother. Anyways, we hosted like this little Thanksgiving at our little house, and nothing crazy. Just we cooked all the food. People came over. We ate the food. Well, there's not a lot of room in that kitchen, right? Counter space was a premium. So when I got done carving the turkey, I left it in the roasting pan and I stuck it in the oven. Everything else is already done at this point. Threw it in the oven just to get it out of the way and closed the oven. Well, end of the night comes around, cleaning everything up. Everybody's kind of leaving. Get the kitchen spotless, and I'm like, all right, done. Right? So life goes on, and it's a few days later, I'm like, man, what the hell is that smell? Like, something just smelled, and like, I don't know, maybe it's the trash. Took the trash out. Come next day, the smell's even worse. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it smells like something's dead, maybe something somehow got into the crawl space under the house and died. Nope, nothing died. So I'm like trying to figure out what exactly this smell is now. Like, nothing's dead, kitchen's clean, trash is taken out, blah, blah, blah. And then it dawned on me, and I opened the oven, and there it was. The turkey carcass was growing stalagmites, from like the carcass and like the juices in the pan straight up. The worst smell ever, making me dry heave.
What a nightmare.
I was just losing my shit over this. Like, had Taylor come in. She had to like triple trash bag this thing right in there. Oh, it was the worst, dude.
And so you took that turkey roaster, put it in the rubbish. That was it, right?
All gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what you do in a
I don't
situation
blame you.
when you've got moldy carcasses and your your oven or whatever.
Yeah. What I love the best about your turkey carcass story is that I know you're going to compare it to a cave with the stalagmite.
Yes.
That just, I don't know, I love that visual. Like, I see that turkey.
Do you also like how we call it a carcass
Yeah.
and not a carcass?
Yeah, well, ASS.
Yeah, carcass. What's your... So that's my carcass story. What's your carcass story, Bob? Because I know you've got a turkey carcass story.
Yeah, so mine starts pretty similarly. I was hosting Thanksgiving. It was a couple close friends, and then my family, which small family, but still, I don't have a huge place, not a lot of space. So after we got everything cut up off the bones of that turkey carcass, I took the roasting tray and set it outside my back door on the stoop, kind of like on the patio.
Yeah.
Covered it in foil just to get it out of the kitchen. It was a very chilly night. It was plenty cold. It was like putting it right in the refrigerator. So at some point shortly thereafter, my friend Kelsey walked up to the door just to look out back with her wine. And she said, Tim, there's a skunk eating your turkey carcass. And sure enough, this skunk had peeled the tin foil off the carcass and was just kind of like in it, just in the turkey, just munching on it. And that was a huge bummer because there was still a little meat on there to salvage, and then there was still a carcass to make soup out of, but nothing like that was going to happen because it went straight in the trash.
Old Pepe Le Pew got to it, huh?
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I know about your house, it's the number of skunks that are around it. Like, people, you don't understand. There is literally a skunk highway in his neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Where you see this path leading through the grass. It's like beautiful lawn, green grass here, green grass there. But then there's this path that looks like a deer trail. Nope, not a deer trail. It's a skunk trail.
Every night, the skunks traverse the neighbor's yard, come back through our yard, and go to the other neighbor's yard.
I love it.
It's probably a good thing we don't have dogs, because I feel like we'd have a lot of
ass spray.
Yeah, spray issues. So, yep, that was mine. So very similar story, just a little bit different.
Yeah. Speaking of turkey,
Yes,
we haven't even hit the turkey yet.
Yes.
We've talked about all these other foods. All right. So,
ask me.
growing up, it was like roasted turkey. That was what we always had. And that's how my parents still cook a turkey in the oven, you know, with the dressing inside of it and all of that stuff.
Which, let me just clarify something.
Mm-hmm.
It's called dressing when it's cooked in a pan,
Okay.
and we're calling it stuffing when it's cooked in the bird.
Okay, so it's had the stuffing. It's the same thing. One's cooked in a pan, one's cooked in the bird.
It is.
Okay.
I know there's going to be listeners who are gonna call that out, and I just
Poo-poo
want
it.
to make sure they know we know what we're talking about here.
Yeah. So I grew up with the oven roasted turkey. My favorite kind of turkey to eat is probably deep fried turkey. I love deep fried turkey. Whenever I personally have cooked turkeys, I've smoked them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's your favorite way? Maybe how did you grow up eating them, and what's your favorite way to eat a turkey now?
I've got a lot to say on this topic. Are you sure you want me to go there?
I mean, Tim, you have a lot to always say about food, but yes, I want you to go there.
All right. First of all, I love the flavor of the smoked turkey meat.
Yeah.
But if you're going to smoke a turkey, you also have to cook another one traditionally, because when you smoke a turkey, you don't get the crispy skin.
Okay.
And you just don't. To me, that is maybe the best part of the turkey, is peeling off that crispy skin and just going to town on that. And I especially like it when I'm having Thanksgiving with people who don't appreciate the skin, because that's just more skin for me.
Little extras.
So love the flavor of a smoked turkey, but it doesn't give you the skin. I've had it deep fried. I've never done it that way. It's also very good, but I'm a traditionalist as far as just roasted in the oven turkey, as long as it's, obviously it's done right.
Yeah.
We don't want like a
overcooked dry bird.
what is it in the Christmas Vacation when they put the fork in the turkey and it just completely turns into nothing. Yeah. We don't want that. But it's funny, I'm gonna be at my wife's family's Thanksgiving this year, and my father-in-law texted me just the other night and said, "Hey, no one here really wants to deal with the turkey. Would you be interested in doing the turkey?" And I said, "Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah." So I am going to spatchcock it. Okay. You know what that is?
Is that where you? I'm not gonna go down there. I'm not gonna go down that road because I have some inappropriate ways of.
Well,
Go on.
I'm going to spatchcock the turkey, which
Yeah,
I've
you
done
are.
with chickens before. I've never done it with the turkey. But basically, you take a knife and you cut out the backbone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you flatten the turkey out. You kind of like press it down, and then it cooks more evenly that way.
Yep.
So you can have a juicy breast.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't.
that's not dried out.
So you're gonna get it from the back.
Yep.
And then flatten it out.
Flatten it out.
And get the juicy breast.
Mm-hmm.
And go on.
Well, what this allows for is a more even cooking. The cooking time is cut in half. So say it would be like 14 minutes a pound to cook a full bird. If you spatchcock it, you're talking more like 6 or 7 minutes a pound.
Okay.
So it cooks much faster. And I think the only thing you can't do that I think would be a problem maybe is you can't stuff it.
Yeah.
Because it now does not have a cavity. But I'm not a huge fan of stuffing the bird anyways, because you're not going to be able to fit it all in there, and you don't get the crispy edges on the stuffing that way. So
We do this. We do the stuffing and the dressing both.
yeah, you have to do both.
Yeah.
Because if you're relying on just what's in the bird, there's not near enough to feed everybody. So those are my opinions on the turkey. I'm going to try it spatchcocked unless someone from Megan's family is listening and they're like, nope, can't do it that way. Then I'll just do it the traditional way.
Bro, here's the scenario. There is no one in Megan's family that's going to question the way you cook anything, okay? Because
I know they trust me, but they're also foodies, you know?
they're not the level of foodie that you are, which is why we all sat around a dinner table a year ago, almost to the date, and just every one of us drooled over the food that you prepared.
Okay.
No questions asked.
All right, fair enough.
Which, man, I really would love one of those dinners again sometime.
Okay.
And I have an idea about that.
All right.
But we'll discuss it
Another
off
time.
screen. Yeah.
Off screen.
Off screen.
Off record. So while we're on turkey, Matt, the age-old question, dark meat or white meat?
I'm a white meat guy.
Okay.
I know that there's more flavor in the dark meat and all this and that, but I've just always preferred white meat over dark meat. And then growing up, you know, we would always have a bag of like leftovers, a bag of dark meat, a bag of white meat. White meat seemed to always go the quickest. And then whatever was left after a few days, my mom would chop up and make turkey pot pie with.
Oh,
but
man, I would love some of Judy's turkey pot pie.
yeah, like some homemade turkey pot pie. But yeah, I'm a white meat guy. What about you?
I'm also a white meat guy. Now, if it's nicely cooked, you can have a nice moist white meat. That's not a problem. I like the white meat because it's just easier to navigate. It's easier just to take a big slab of that breast and throw it on your plate. Whereas if you're dealing with legs and thighs and things, you have weird stringy things you got to deal with and little pieces of this fat and that gristle. And I like to just dig in, and I don't want to play around.
Just simplify it.
Yeah.
Just simplify it.
And I also think the white meat is just a better vehicle for mashed potatoes and stuffing that you're and if it is on the dry side, that's what the gravy's for, bro.
Oh yeah, do that. See the same thing.
That's what the gravy's for.
Yep.
So you know, I know that's kind of like a tough topic. Some people are really in their camp about it, but I'm a white meat guy.
Yeah.
I'm a breast man.
Yep, me too. What else you got for Thanksgiving, bub? What other things you want to talk about?
Well, listen, this is another one of those ones we could do like a 3-part episode on. You get us talking about food, but I don't want to forget about dessert before we run out of time, because I think if we were to not talk about dessert, we'd have some angry listeners.
Yeah.
So is there anything you'd like to talk about as far as dessert goes?
Growing up for Thanksgiving, it was just your traditional, I think, more traditional Thanksgiving type desserts. pumpkin pie, pecan pie. So my family's from Texas, so like everything pecan is in our wheelhouse. My dad's favorite dessert is pecan pie. We all love it, so we would do that. Maybe an apple pie, like some sort of a fruit-based pie. But yeah, to me, and I would, for me personally, apple pie or pecan pie warmed up with like a dollop of vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
So you get the ice cream on there, and then as that kind of melts, you get a little bit of that cream melting into the pie, more so with the pecan, and it helps take a little bit of that richness out, but
Now, is this an immediately following,
no.
or do you guys take a little break?
A little break, let things settle, maybe take a little late Thanksgiving Day poop and free up a little space for the pie.
Okay.
What about you?
So I'm with you. I'm used to the very traditional desserts, but I think this is where I'm not going to have a very popular opinion, but I could go without desserts.
Okay.
Because, like I said, there's such a balance about what can I fit in my belly as far as the potatoes and the stuffing and the turkey that by the time I'm done, I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't put anything in there. And if I give myself some time to get hungry again, I'm craving that. I'm craving the Thanksgiving food again. So I don't typically crave pies. Another thing with me that's kind of strange is I didn't even really start liking pie till further along in my adulthood. Yeah, just not been something that I've really loved. When it comes to desserts, I love ice creams.
Yeah,
and like pound cake.
So ice creams were always there, and of course, growing up, there was always just like cookies baked in the house and things like that. My dad's totally got a sweet tooth. I've got a sweet tooth too. I know I got it from him, but so my mom was always, she always had chocolate chip cookies and things like that around. So
yeah,
I mean, there was other things than just pie. Maybe there was a cake of some sort, like a Texas sheet cake or like a Coke cake. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of a Coke cake.
That's a Texas thing, right?
Yeah.
I will say, as far as pie goes, though, I want nothing to do with the pumpkin pie. For me, it's like, if it's there, give me a little slice of pecan pie.
Oh my god!
Or even like some cherry pie, like a more tart fruit.
Okay.
Personally, than sweet. So that's or go crazy in like a chocolate cream pie or something.
Yeah, dude.
Like.
I love a good chocolate cream pie or like what's a butterscotch pie?
Yeah, something like that.
Or do you like key lime pies?
Not particularly.
I love a good key lime pie.
Not particularly. Like, I'll eat it if you put it in front of me, but it's not going to be my first choice.
Lemon meringue?
And that I can get behind.
So maybe this year I'll do some desserts too, and I'll do some of that pot de creme that you did, the sous vide pot de creme. I would love to try some of that baklava, but I'm not going down that road.
Might not be worth it.
But there's a Greek place that just opened in Marysville. I forget what it's called, but someone posted pictures on Facebook yesterday, and they had photographs of the tiramisu that looked so good. They've got some tiramisu there, but anyways.
So we have talked a lot about food, and we can still talk about more food, but I want to make sure I also talk about traditions. And I have one tradition with my family and one tradition with Megan's family that I just absolutely love. So I will share those, and then if you have any traditions you want to share.
Okay, share yours.
So the tradition with Megan's family is that everybody writes on the white tablecloth what they're thankful for after dinner or at some point during the day. And it's so fun to go back and read the old ones. So you use a Sharpie, and then Dee washes the tablecloth every year. We try not to get it too dirty, but it goes back so far. So it's funny to see like things that Megan wrote before I even knew her and stuff like that. And, it's funny to go back and read funny ones like, oh, I'm thankful. You might put something like, some year you might put something fun like, I'm thankful for the Ohio State Buckeyes and how great they're doing this season. Or maybe you've lost a loved one that year, and it's, I'm thankful for the time I got to spend with, someone who may have passed away. So, it really hits the gamut of like funny and sentimental and serious. So that's fun.
Yeah, so like there was probably one where it was like Megan was like, I'm thankful for my new boyfriend Tim. And then like now it's like I'm thankful that Tim slept all day in the basement and was out of my hair.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right to some degree there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the tradition with my family is that I don't know if everyone's grandma has done this, but my grandma always had a lot of candles around the house, but she never lit them.
Okay.
They were just old candles everywhere. And one of her candle sets was these pilgrims. So they were like 3-inch tall pilgrims. And I think there might be a turkey and some other characters. And they would always make it onto the table for Thanksgiving, but never be lit.
Yeah.
Well, at one point, one of the dishes, like a hot dish of food, got too close to one of the pilgrims' faces, and it melted the wax completely and deformed his face.
Do you have those candles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've showed me that before.
Well, I don't think I'm in possession of them. I think my sister may have them.
Maybe you showed me photos of them or something.
But every time we have Thanksgiving, whether it's something we've done at my house or we go and have Thanksgiving with my grandma at the facility she lives in, we always make sure we bring
those candles.
Just the one with the melted face.
Yeah, that's
because like I can't put my finger on when it happened and what dish disfigured the face, but it always just adds a little fun.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving. So that's me.
So for us, we don't have any like great traditions, so to say, like that we continue to carry on with Thanksgiving. There's probably like a little bit more tradition with Christmas, but one thing that sticks out in my mind was removing the wishbone from the turkey.
Oh yeah.
And pulling the wishbone as a kid, like that was something we always fought over, who was going to get to pull the wishbone. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's just literally like everyone kind of shows up. Football's usually on the TV. When we do all get together, now that we're all grown, sometimes we're not together for Thanksgiving all at the same time as one family. People have gotten older, people have moved, this and that. But, growing up, we would all everyone would just meet at my parents' house, and it was like, turn on the TV and you just watch football and lounge around and snacked on stuff during the day and then had Thanksgiving dinner. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of it. Maybe another thing that we always do at the holidays and we've continued to do is, so like for the two major, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, as kids, my mom would always get like the sparkling grape juice.
Yeah.
Like the purple or the red and the white sparkling for the kids. And, she still continues to do that today. Even though, I mean, there are kids in the family, but it's like, even as adults, a lot of times we're like still grabbing for a glass of that sparkling grape juice. And as a kid, it just made you feel like you were drinking some wine or something like that with dinner. And of course it was just sparkling. But
which one of your family members would be like the one most apt to be like, oh, no, thanks, Judy, I want the hard stuff today? And it can be someone who's married in, like a Taylor or a Sabrina.
I don't know. That's tough. I would say maybe it's tough because Tim really likes wine a lot and Steph really likes wine a lot. So I'd probably say one of the two of them.
Okay.
Or John, my brother-in-law, for sure. I mean, he drinks a lot of wine and beer and cocktails and things like that.
It would be me if I was in your family. Yeah, I'd put me on that list.
Yeah, for sure. Me, I'm not as big of a drinker. Like I like to have a beer or a cocktail here and there, but I don't feel like I have to have some sort of alcoholic beverage with dinner.
Sure.
But yeah, those are probably, like I said, more so with Christmas. There's more tradition than there is at Thanksgiving, but yeah. So Anywho,
Yeah, man, I am so hungry right now.
yeah.
Because what I was
so
thinking,
hungry.
because we talked a lot about food and we got into the traditions. We're kind of like winding down, and it's just like leftovers.
So
And it's just like, I love having all that stuff ready to warm up, and that's why I think like you should never, when you're making your Thanksgiving food, you should never think, well, that's too much. Just make it.
yeah,
You know, like, should we do 5 pounds potatoes? No, do 15.
yeah.
Because guess what? That stuff will get eaten.
Leftovers, yeah.
Because it's no fun when it's run out the next day,
Yeah.
right?
No, I agree completely. I love the leftover game.
Yeah, and I love that your mom makes a pot pie.
Yeah, I don't know if she still does that, but that was what she always did with the leftover turkey as kids.
Yeah,
We knew we were getting that turkey pot pie, not a chicken pot pie, turkey pot pie.
that sounds so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
If you ever come across a slice of that, I'd like you to save me a little.
Man, maybe I should have her make and like freeze a turkey pot pie.
That would be so dope. Because I typically just throw all the leftovers in a bowl, nuke it, and eat it.
Yeah,
And then I'll take that carcass and make a little soup out of it. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you folks are wondering how this was related to horticulture,
It wasn't.
thing number one, we talked about corn, which is a plant, Brussels sprouts, which is also a plant. We talked about cranberries,
Plant,
cherries, pumpkins, potatoes,
plants,
turkey that eats plants, and
celery, onions,
all of that.
plants.
And thing number two, you're right. It wasn't about horticulture. It was all about food this episode. But sorry, not sorry. We love food, and it's this next week. It's all about food with Thanksgiving, food and fellowship with friends and family. So
And you know what? We had a lot of hot takes there that you may disagree with or agree with. Please send us a message.
Yeah.
Hit us up, whether it's the email or the Instagram or the Facebook. Send us a message, and we'll get some comments on next week on our last episode. We'll share some of the comments shared by the viewers. So
yeah, I love it.
That
It sounds great, man. Yeah, and just a reminder, next week is our last episode of the season. So yeah, until then, I guess we will chat with y'all next week. Love y'all harder.
bye.
+2. Bye-bye.
What'd you call me?